talking with you.
Get our first caller on that.
Good evening, how are you?
Hi, how you guys doing? What's your face on? What's your face on? I'm going to open up the phone lines. Give us a call. Give us a call.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, to the Health Edition of Talk TV. I'm Laura Batista. How have you been sleeping lately? Well, this week has been designated National Sleep Awareness Week to make people more aware of the need to get a good night's sleep and the dangers of not getting that shut-eye. Nearly 6 out of 10 people experience at least one symptom of insomnia a few nights a week, and obviously some are mild, others are more serious. A new study suggests that as many as 4 million motorists on Canadian roads will fall asleep at the wheel at least once this year. Isn't that a scary thought? And there are also some serious health concerns like sleep apnea. What is it, and what can you do about it? Well, those who suffer from apnea are more likely to die during the night from a sudden heart attack. Joining me now to talk about sleep disorders and what you can do about them are respiratory therapist Lionel Marshall and Dr. Howard Awad. Did I say it right?
Awad.
Awad. Both experts on sleep disorders. And welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
That's a lot of people not getting a lot of sleep.
Absolutely. At any given time, as you did say, about maybe one in two people in our society are not getting good sleep. And there was a survey done, in fact, in 1997, showing that 63 million people in the U.S. are mildly to moderately sleep deprived.
Now, what does that mean, being sleep deprived?
It means that you are not fully alert and awake, and you are at risk for any complicated tasks, driving behind a machinery, and also if you happen to be a student or in the classroom trying to grasp information, then you are not performing anything close to your 100%.
Now, Lionel, how much sleep should we get?
The average is anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a night. I think the mean is 7 hours of sleep per night. It does vary. Dr. Awad, would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Sleep need follow what we call a normal distribution curve. So, you know, some people are 5 feet and quite happy, and some people are 7 feet and playing basketball. So,
right.
Most people need between 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That is about 85% of the population. You have 7.5% needing less than 6 hours, and another 7.5% needing more than 8 hours. And in fact, they have realized that there are two types of people called long sleeper and short sleeper. Okay. People who can function and survive on 4 to 6 hours of sleep.
So there are really people like that?
Margaret Thatcher, you know, the British Prime Minister, was one of those people, and she used to be awake between 4 and 5 and able to perform 2 or 3 hours of very good work, productive work early in the morning.
Are you sure she wasn't just a workaholic?
Maybe she was.
Well, and then there's a whole thing with children, right? I'm noticing as my daughter's getting into her teenage years, her sleep patterns have really changed. It's not that she's going to bed any later, perhaps a little bit later, but she really wants to sleep in the morning. And
Absolutely.
That's normal too, right?
That's normal too, and this is what we call sleep phase delayed syndrome. Teenagers by nature have a tendency to stay late, party, have fun, and want to sleep in.
But they don't just sleep in because they're going to bed late. They really want to sleep late, right?
Yeah. It's what happens is the sleep phase is moved forward. So instead of going to bed at 10, they end up maybe going at 1. So their bedtime, wake-up time, instead of 6, becomes 9 or 10. So it is really
That's
a shift.
not good for school.
No, not good for school. Yeah, it's a shift in your sleep cycle.
There's also something that I'd like to talk about, sleep hygiene. You hear sleep experts talk about sleep hygiene. Can you explain a bit about that, Lionel?
Sure.
It doesn't mean washing your hands before you go to bed.
That's correct. They say to pick a time that you should go to bed at night consistently, like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Also, when you go to bed, not to have the TV going because it does interfere with your sleep. It gets into your sleep
But yet
pattern.
so many people have that TV in the bedroom.
A lot of people have, or they fall asleep in front of the TV on the couch.
Tell us what's wrong
down.
with falling asleep with this flickering screen going.
The flickering screen and the noise of the television does interfere with slow wave sleep. So it will cause arousals out of your sleep for you to wake up. You don't really realize that it's the noise and the TV screen is causing cause you to wake up?
It's overstimulation. In order to get good sleep, you have to progress into a relaxed kind of an environment. And that will promote sleep and will help you progress into different healthy stages of sleep and be able to go through normal sleep cycles. If you do anything that is too stimulating, like going to the gym or exercising just before you go to bed, having a TV or watching a very scary movie or having very intense music, that seriously interfere with the sleep onset and make the early stages of sleep very restless, which is a problem because during the first 2 hours of sleep, we get our best sleep.
Oh, that's
which
interesting.
is this, slow wave sleep, stages 3 and 4. This is where we get the most benefit from our sleep, and this is crucial for us to be able to wake up and feel rested.
It's amazing that any of us gets any sleep at all with
right.
all of this stuff going on.
Also, the use of alcohol affects your sleep and your sleep architecture. It actually turns into a stimulant as your body processes the alcohol and causes you to wake up early, too, earlier than you should. And so people utilize alcohol when you first go to sleep. It causes you to get drowsy, but then it turns into a stimulant after it's processed.
And, you know, talking about the other stimulant, caffeine. Now, I used to be able to have, you know, a cup of tea around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Can't do that anymore.
No.
You know, any caffeine after about 2 o'clock, I can't fall asleep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So people think, well, I don't drink coffee before I go to bed, and I don't drink tea before I go to bed. But even drinking it in the late afternoon can have that effect.
Well, they also a buildup of caffeine in the system.
It has an accumulative effect because depending on how much coffee you are drinking during the day, it will stay in your system. And that's a very powerful stimulant, and it does interfere with sleep continuity and quality of sleep.
Another thing I hear from people is that they have trouble shutting their mind off at night. And this is a big part of being able to fall asleep. I mean, if you're worrying about paying your bills and what you have to do the next day and, you know, getting your kids off to soccer practice and what are you going to cook for dinner, that all becomes this verbal kind of jumble in your head, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think even in our fast-paced lifestyle, it's hard for people to sort of slow down when they go to bed at night. And I think it's important that people utilize, even there's tapes to make you relax, or yoga or something like that, something to bring you down. It's not good to like work right up to you go to bed and then try to go to sleep because all those things are on your mind.
Okay, we're going to give out some phone numbers because remember, Talk TV is interactive and we do want to hear from you. So please call us now with your questions, comments, and your personal stories too. We'd like to hear those. Here are the numbers to call within the GTA. You can dial 416-872-CP24. That's 416-872-2724. Or from outside the area, call us toll free, 1-888-863-CP24. And you can fax us at 416-593-6397. Or if you're on the internet, you can send your email to us at talktv@pulse24.com. It's time for a short break here on Talk TV. If you've been tossing and turning at night and counting sheep but just isn't cutting it, give us a call. We'll start taking your questions right after the break.